We wanted a camera here, but that's a line cross. Anyone who goes to film school understand this.
I don't know what
that's a camera. That's a camera. That's a camera. That's a person. That's a person.
No one even needs to go to film school now because they've seen this drawing.
I'm going to try it again. So this is a person. Hey, I'm Matt.
And I'm Ross.
We are, I guess, collectively the Duffer brothers, and this is Notes on a Scene for Stranger Things.
There's a lot of great home invasion movies that we looked at specifically for this sequence alone. Home Alone, Lost Boys,
Poltergeist here.
For a sequence like this, geography always plays a big part. If you look at what Spielberg did in Jurassic Park, if you even look at what Chris Columbus did in Home Alone or David Fincher did in Panic Room, you have to really establish, even before the home invasion comes, you want to establish the space and the geography, and you want the characters and the audience to both understand that. So as we're moving the camera around, as in our case, the monster, the invader is coming, we want to really understand the space really well. Fernando was not written into the written into the script. We tried a bunch of different songs here. I believe this was a suggestion from Nora, who's our music supervisor. And we played a bunch of different songs over here. And what we really liked about this was just the juxtaposition of it's just the last song that you'd be expecting to play when a monster's attacking, but it's definitely a song that you believe that a drunk Karen would be listening to as she got into the bathtub.
And also, it's like, it hasn't been overused. So like, we try to avoid songs that have been overused and TV. You don't want it to be too obvious. And I would say this particular shot, where they're watching the wall and you're just hearing the sound. I mean, that's based on Shyamalan's Signs. There's that great scene where they're just listening to the aliens. You don't see the aliens, but they're on the other side of the walls. We always thought that was, a really effective suspense sequence. So it was a big reference for us here. Oftentimes the songs are written into the script. Like Running Up the Hill was written in the script. It's actually kind of unusual that we're figuring out in post-production. But the main thing that we try to do is we just don't want to put a cool needle drop, because you can put a cool needle drop. You want it always to come from character. So you always have to start from the point of, what is Max listening to? What would she be listening to? You kind of build out a playlist for her. Karen, what would she be listening to? You build out a playlist for her. And then you see kind of what will also work cinematically. So you're working off character and you're working on rhythm, pace, and mood. So all of that leads into the choice of the song.
What's your location? Over!
Picket, 5 minutes away.
You're way ahead of us. Radio as soon as you're there.
I will.
And Nancy, be careful.
Hold on.
This Demogorgon, now season 1, we had a guy named Mark in a suit. Obviously, for this season, we needed him to do more, our monsters to be able to do more and maneuver more around. So this is, it's still based on that same design, but this is Weta that is doing these VFX. But really what we have is we have someone with a ball on a stick here, and they just do this so the camera operator can know where
can frame for them.
Can frame for the camera. And it's always taller than you would think. So we'll just take out measuring and we'll just try to get it as close as we can to make sure that we're framing properly for the Demogorgon. But it's always jarring on the day because you're just looking at a tennis ball. It's not particularly scary.
One of our favorite shots of the season, but so the way that we did this is this frame that you're seeing here, this tub was not inside that bedroom. So this was a separate. How would you even describe that?
It was up on a platform. It was obviously filled with water. This is not fake CG water. This is real water, and Nell and Cara practiced a long time just in sort of how to hold their breath in a way that looked cool. We talked about eyes open, eyes closed, and we all collectively decided that this looked the best. But we essentially stitched the two shots together. All of this, I don't even know how to draw like this, but all of this is a separate set on the floor.
Yeah, it's the bathroom.
It's the bathroom. So we shot the move and we had to get the timing just right. Our camera op just had to get the timing just right and sort of memorize what the actual speed was. And then we did the same thing with Cara and Nell in a tub on a separate part of the stage on a raised platform. And then on the day we stitched the shots together to make sure that
the speed worked.
The speed and timing worked. And I think some of these, we had to add some bubbles and stuff to help sort of smooth out this transition line. But hopefully when you watch it now, it looks like it's just one continuous shot and that bathtub is in fact in this bathroom, which it is absolutely not.
This heel, we really wanted him to smash Karen's heel here. This is not a real shoe. This is completely CG.
Yeah, but when she picked this out, I think that shot is not in there anymore where she kicks them off. But we fell in love with this ridiculous slipper.
It wasn't super expensive to build a CG crushable heel, but and there was a lot of, do we really need this? And we said, absolutely.
I think it was worth it, I hope.
Yeah, I think it was worth these 2 seconds.
Heavens to Betsy.
Karen? Everything all right?
Hopefully you can't tell. I know why I'm pointing out mistakes. Oh no, maybe you can't see. There, you'll see the faucet here is not, I don't know what that drawing is, but it's not there. I guess this is the water. It's not there because for safety reasons, could have possibly slammed.
Yeah, so it's a CG faucet.
Is it CG in the next shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's CG.
Yeah, no faucet. So this is all CG because they had to keep popping out and they had to protect their head. Now this shot it seemed simple, but it was deceptively hard because sometimes they would just pop out in their hair.
Like you can't have it. It's like very comedic if they're covered in bubbles.
Like if there's a crown of bubbles on their head, which happened a lot of times, it's like it really takes you out of the horror of the scene. But again, Cara and Nell had so much fun doing.
But they delivered it every time. And again, Nell's doing a good job of pretending like she has soap in her eyes, but she does not because this is not soap.
It's fake bubbles. We don't know what it is.
Holly!
Holy smokes.
Oh, God. Hey, stay back. Get back! Back!
Actually, this shot was a nightmare, which was Ted going through the wall. I mean, it was one of those stunts gone wrong. Nobody was hurt. He just, I think we tried it 3 or 4 different times, and each time the stuntman didn't go through the wall. He just hit the wall.
We kept scoring it to make it thinner and thinner, but we needed to get him over the bed and onto the floor. Otherwise, the shots, it didn't look very exciting. Even though I'm sure it was exciting for the stunt guy. So we had to keep scoring it more and more until it was like very flimsy at the end of the day. And then we finally, on I think take 3.
Your bad memory. I mean, that's actually no. We had to abandon ship.
We did abandon. Yeah.
We didn't shoot. Oh, you're talking about take 3 many months later?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. See, conflict resolution on display. They had to rework and rebuild the whole wall.
Yes.
And we came back like 6 months later and shot it. And I think at that point, the wall was built properly and it worked perfectly, and we were all extremely relieved.
Joe Crest. This is a stunt guy made to look like Joe Crest. So if we go forward. Not Joe Crest. Still not Joe Crest. Keep going. We had 3 cameras.
3
going.
cameras. So I will say, yeah, so we had a camera. Well, keep going.
We just had
back it up though. Like, so I think, so the bedroom, these are actually bedrooms. I'm just going to draw on here. You'll be blown away by my drawing. So it was like this, and obviously we were firing him through this wall this way, and we had a camera here, and we had a camera, kind of an overhead camera here, and then we had a camera here, right? Wait, back it up.
I don't even understand your drawing, to be perfectly honest. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
We had an overhead and we had this.
Yes.
We wanted a camera here, but that's a line cross. Anyone who goes to film school understand this.
I don't know what that
that's
is.
A camera, that's a camera, that's a camera, that's a person, that's a person.
No one even needs to go to film school now because they've seen this drawing.
I'm going to try it again. So this is a person. This is a person.
Yeah.
The bar was low.
If our careers go down, you can teach at film school. Yeah, that's great. So this is not Kara. This is a stunt double, and what we're particularly proud of is this is an old school filmmaking trick. Whereas the shot, can we rewind a little bit? This is Kara. So it's a single shot, and the camera's panning, and as it's panning, and we're going with Nell,
we leave Kara.
We lose sight of her, and there's a stunt double hiding.
And that behind that wall there.
You can kind of see Kara there sort of duck out of the way if you're really paying attention. And then she ducks out of the way, and then our stunt double ran in, and then she slams. So it's a single shot, 2 different actors playing Karen in a matter of 5 seconds.
I'll save you from having to go to film school. This is called a Texas switch, though I don't know why. I can't remember. I definitely learned at some point, Google it.
Something like this, when you can just do it like
in camera,
old school in camera without a cut, no one's going to notice. I mean, now they will, because I guess we talked about it, but no one's going to notice. But it is going to leave a little bit more, make it just feel more real and dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Before this, Holly has been in the show, but really a small role. So this is the first time she's taking center stage. And so we try to spend a lot of the first episode allowing the audience to really get to know her and care for her. So once you put her in a scary, dangerous situation, you're really worried about what's going to happen to her.
It really reminded us of Millie season 1. It's just, there's an understanding. She's such an understanding of where the camera is, how to play to the camera. And in like a sequence like this, the way she was acting, yes, sometimes off screen, she's joking around and having a lot of fun and being a little kid. But the minute you're like about to roll, I just remember watching her, because this is one of the earlier things that we shot with Nell, and she was just hyping herself up. She would be jumping up and down, doing jumping jacks, push-ups, just doing everything she could, just get in the moment. And the minute you called action, she was just in it.
She had half a wine bottle here, so she's not breaking anything here. So she just kept swatting it against, pretending there was I'm going to do an awesome drawing here. Oh, dude, this is going to look inappropriate. Anyway, it was like half a wine bottle, and the other half was breaking.
But I
was CG.
Kara, throughout the seasons, part of the way she sort of justified that Karen was oblivious that, in season 1, there's a young girl, 11, living in her basement, and later that all these supernatural things are going on. And one way that she convinced herself that Karen would be unaware of this is that Karen is always, in almost every scene, at least a little bit drunk. And so as we were devising this Wheeler House attack, we thought it would be really fun, and Kara agreed that she's not sober in the moment. And what then made it more fun is like, what would her weapon of choice be? And then we realized, but there's also this wine bottle, which may be less realistic in terms of how deadly it would be, but it felt appropriate that Karen would weaponize
Her alcoholism.
Her alcoholism against this beast. So when we came up with that, we thought it was too fun not to do it, and Kara luckily agreed.
So sometimes alcoholism can pay off.
I guess so.
Stay away from my daughter!
It's inside. I see it. Get ready.
Nancy, what's going on? Talk to me. What's happening? Nancy! Stay away from my daughter.
Karen's attack, I remember it was just, we were writing it, and, you know, originally the plan was to do it sort of linearly, but then we thought, I don't know how we came about it, but it just seemed much more interesting to do it in a non-linear fashion, to switch from her point of view to Nancy's point of view.
I think because we wanted it to feel like, you wanted to feel what Nancy felt like in that moment. You wanted the audience to be with Nancy and the horror when she sees Karen like this. So it's a little unorthodox, but it was scripted this way.
I remember Netflix was like, huh? And I was like, are you sure this is going to work? We're like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so hopefully it does.
It works.
It does, but we use, you know, we switch over to sort of transition. We do a couple things in order to do what we're doing with the shifting of time, is we're going into slow motion. I think it was 72 frames as Natalia, who plays Nancy, comes into the room to really get into her head. And then when we're going back in time, we're using sound to really communicate that this is a sort of a suspended moment where we're going back. So we played around with taking all the music and almost all the sound out and just playing it with a dial tone. And that, finally, when we did that, we're like, now I feel like I'm in Nancy's head, and it feels as horrific to the audience as it does to her.
Yeah, there was something disturbing about the violence occurring over with very little sound and just that awful dial tone. This is all prosthetics, by the way. Our makeup team is incredible, not enhanced at all by special effects.
It was just a debate of how far we could go, because she's actually not dead here, but she's on the right on the line of death. Maybe looking at it now, we may have gone a little far.
We may have pushed it. Some doctor will weigh in online and let us know whether this is actually a survivable.
I think they're going to say not.
Well, this is what concerns me here.
It's deep, yeah.
How deep the neck.
We did take some blood off in the moment, but you know, it's effective, I think.
But I don't blame you for thinking she's dead, because she certainly looks fucking dead. Initially, it was sort of a love letter to the films that we grew up watching, and also our childhood. And as we've been working on it for 10 years, it's become kind of grown into its own thing. I mean, there have been so many people involved aside from us, from our other writers to the actors, and it's just become its own thing. And then, so really this season is just about goodbye to this story and these characters and Hawkins and so on. Obviously there's still a lot of films that we pull from. I mean, we are film nerds, but it's more, if anything, talking about the rest of the seasons and the shows and these characters.
And in some ways, it's a love letter as well to this journey we've had making this show. We didn't really realize it until we were reading the final script with our cast, but when we did, they were talking about how much the scenes in the story reflected how they were feeling as the show came to an end and their own experiences. So it wasn't really intentional, but there is something a little meta in that it is a reflection on this journey that we've all been through, and we've obviously seen our younger cast grow into adults, and I think that's ultimately what the heart of the story is. It's coming of age. So it is about the characters, but it's also about the actors and the journey that we've all been on.
I love how you're talking about something very emotional over this disgusting image of Karen.